Hi there. Happy Thursday. Dr. Sabrina Starling here. I'm the business psychologist at Tap the Potential, and I'm also the author of the 4-Week Vacation book and the How to Hire the Best series. Today's topic on the live video is around the question of, is your business giving you the quality of life you deserve? And this question really intrigues me because I talk to entrepreneurs day in and day out, and one of the things that really strikes me is that we are so passionate about our businesses, and we put our hearts and souls into our businesses growing and developing, and we have an idea of how we want things to be, and there's that gap between how things are currently and how we envision that they could be or would be. And when we start out in business as entrepreneurs, the business it requires all of us to keep it afloat and keep it going. And then over time, the business should mature and be able to run more effectively without the daily involvement of the business owner. But the challenge is when do we get to that point where our business really gives us that quality of life that we deserve? And so what I have done in the last few years at Tap the Potential, we have created an assessment, and we have been surveying entrepreneurs during the height of COVID, during 2020 and 2021. We surveyed over 300 entrepreneurs with our Better Business, Better Life assessment, and really dug into that question of, what is the state of entrepreneurship? What is it really like? And I love looking at this data and sharing it with you. It's not exciting data with respect to, I have great news to share that entrepreneurs are leading a high quality of life. It's not that at all. The data is actually very discouraging in that way, that the experience of entrepreneurship is challenging for most of us. But I think it's important for us to understand what the data really show so that we have some context to put our own experience of entrepreneurship in. Those days when it's really hard and you're grinding it out and you're thinking, what's wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? And so as I share this data with you, I think what you'll come to appreciate is, no, it's not you. You're not doing something wrong. Entrepreneurship is tough. And the data also show some things that entrepreneurs who are experiencing a higher quality of life, who are not at risk for burnout, they're doing some things differently. And so that's what I want to share with you today. What I'm sharing with you is in the 4-Week Vacation book. So if you want to dive deeper into what I'm sharing today, you can find more in-depth information about it in the book. So when we look at the state of entrepreneurship from our assessment data on the Better Business, Better Life assessment, what it shows is that 88% of us are at risk for entrepreneurial burnout, where we're experiencing at least 3 or more symptoms of burnout. And almost 1/4 of entrepreneurs report experiencing 9 to 12 symptoms of burnout. And I'll go through some of the different symptoms of burnout here. 84% report fluctuating moods based on how the business is doing. 81% find it hard to switch off and not think about the business. 53% report difficulty enjoying downtime away from work, and more than half said they neglect basic needs such as sleep, healthy eating, or social interaction, and have done so within the last 3 days of taking the assessment. 61% feel as though it takes increasing effort to accomplish more tasks, and that's that feeling of working harder and harder and getting less and less done, which is a common symptom of burnout. Almost 48% report feeling as though no one understands them and the stressors they experience. And this is a big one, because I hear a lot from entrepreneurs that you feel like you're the only one in your world that really gets what it's like to be you. And when business owners come into our Better Business, Better Life program, that's one of the very first things they comment on, is how good it feels to be with other business owners who get what they're going through and who get that experience. So reducing that sense of isolation, I think, goes a long way to helping us deal with our own symptoms of burnout. The other thing that I want to share with you is not surprising, but those who report have less risk for burnout are working substantially less than those who are at more risk for burnout. So that's kind of one of those common sense findings, but it's something, it's really important to pay attention to this because working less equates to less stress. But on the flip side of that, the majority of business owners are saying they feel like the business is overly dependent on them. 85% of you are saying you feel like the business can't run effectively without you. And 55% of you feel like you cannot grow the business without working longer hours. And at the same time, 71% are not delegating activities that don't require your expertise. So that means you're not working on your $10,000 an hour activities because you're still holding on to those $10 and $50 and $100 an hour activities. So, but here's something that's really interesting. Those who are at lower risk for entrepreneurial burnout have almost double the number of systems in place in their business. Let that sink in. Those entrepreneurs who are less at risk for entrepreneurial burnout have almost double the number of systems in place in their business. So we start to think about, okay, obviously working less equates to less stress. Having more systems in your business reduces your risk for burnout. And we have the majority of business owners saying that the business can't run effectively without them. So there's a key here. Put systems in place in your business so that you can start to have that confidence in being away from your business. But it's not just enough to have systems in place in your business. There's some key systems that are missing in the majority of small businesses. So our data show that the biggest gap in systems across the board in small businesses are the systems for hiring, onboarding, and retaining your A players. 89% of you are reporting that you have no system for attracting top performing team members in your business. 70% are lacking a system for onboarding new hires. So just think about that. Not having like if you get an A player, but you don't have a system to onboard them, what good does it do to have an A player? You're not setting them up for success. 81% lack a system for retaining top performing team members. So that gets into leadership and team development. And 79% of you are reporting that you're not engaging in regular team development activities. So it's not just a matter of throw more systems into the business and it'll all be good. It's really about being strategic about which systems you put in place in your business that are going to have the greatest impact. So as I'm talking to you today, and there's a couple of takeaways that I want you to get out of this is number one, get more focused on getting systems in place in your business and identify the ones that are going to create the greatest impact for you. And you can discover that with our assessment. You can go to tapthepotential.com/assessment. You can assess your own risk for burnout and you can see how what your experience compares to the typical experience of entrepreneurs based on the data that I'm sharing here with you. So I think that gives you some perspective to, have some context around your own experience of entrepreneurship and see how that compares to how most people are experiencing entrepreneurship. But the other data that you'll get, or the other information that you'll get, is feedback on which systems you have and that are strong and which systems you need to put in place in your business. So you will see the gaps. And I think that's really important as we're at the beginning of a new year. You'll have information about what to get to work on that's going to make a difference for you in your own quality of life in the coming year. So again, you can take that assessment. There's no charge for it. It's tapthepotential.com/assessment. It takes you about 15 to 20 minutes to take the assessment, but think about that as your $10,000 an hour time for today, because it really gives you that opportunity to check in not just with yourself and how you're experiencing life and what your own risk is for burnout, but also to check in on the state of your business and what you can do to improve it. So I want to circle back and talk about the other key to having a higher quality of life as an entrepreneur. This finding really surprised me. And this particularly relates to how willing we business owners are to work on our business. Like, we'll roll up our sleeves. We're hard workers. We're willing to get in there and do the work. We're not in the data. The data is not showing us that entrepreneurs don't want to do the work. So both groups, those who are at risk for entrepreneurial burnout and those who were not at risk for entrepreneurial burnout, are willing to work the same amount of hours on the business to improve it. So 6 to 10 or more hours per week is what we're willing to do to improve the business. However, those who were at lower risk for entrepreneurial burnout were willing to invest more money and the same amount of time to work on their business as those who are at higher risk. So in other words, those who are at higher risk were willing to invest the time to work on the business, but not the money. And so what does that mean? So if we're willing to invest time, but not money, that means we're going to watch all these YouTube videos that are out there and do all the free trainings and try to patch all this stuff together to somehow improve our business and do it on our own. That's that do-it-yourself mentality. Whereas those of us who are at less risk for burnout are more willing to invest money in addition to time. So what does money get you? Money gets you good quality coaching and training, people who have been there, done that, taken other business owners through the school of hard knocks and how you can grow the business and navigate the pitfalls and avoid a lot of the pitfalls. And so that's important because you're short-circuiting that school of hard knocks when you're investing in good quality business coaching and training. And as you grow your business, you as the leader have to learn new skills. You have to learn new ways of being as a leader, a new mindset. Business is the greatest opportunity for personal development that's out there. And the mindset that got you to the current level of business is not the mindset that will get you to the next level. And so when you invest in good quality coaching and training for yourself and for your team so that your business can grow, you're learning the ways to do things that work. And so you're not having to go through all that trial and error and school of hard knocks, which is what sets us up for burnout. So I hope that's helpful information to you to get you thinking about your willingness to invest and being mindful of when you invest in yourself and in your business, looking for the quality coaching and training that's going to help you move to the next level, that's going to help you work on the business strategically, get the right systems in place, get the hiring and the team and the onboarding, get all of that in place so that your business really has that opportunity to grow and become less and less dependent on you. When you hire A players, when you have good systems in place that those A players can run, you have that ability to leave the business and trust that they're going to handle things and make good decisions in your absence. So I hope this information that I've shared with you has been helpful to you. At Tap the Potential, we offer coaching and training in our Better Business, Better Life program to help you build the business in such a way that you have more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. We want you to design a business that's sustainably profitable, that can grow, that doesn't require more of you, it requires less of you, and that gives you that opportunity to have the quality of life that you deserve. So as I close today, I just want to extend the invitation again. Take our assessment at tapthepotential.com/assessment. Check in with yourself on how you're doing as an entrepreneur, and also check on the state of your business and what you can work on in the coming year to improve your business. Hope this has been helpful. I would love to hear your feedback and comments below, especially in relation to what you're discovering in your own experience about entrepreneurship. What have you learned that's helped you to have a higher quality of life, maybe this year than the previous year? So post that in the comments below. Bye for now.